One Congresswoman's proposal is getting some attention this morning. It's a bill she says is going to create about 2.2 million jobs, and it will essentially create some quote-unquote emergency jobs. That's what it's being called, putting people back to work in places like schools and parks, also putting cops back on the job. It's already coming under fire from the GOP, and as you can probably understand, there's some criticism, but she's here to tell us more about it. Congresswoman Schakowsky is a Democrat from Illinois. She's also a chief deputy whip. Nice to have you, Congresswoman. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Jenna.
So $227 billion, that's what this plan would cost. So let's just work through it bit by bit. Where does that $227 billion come from?
Well, first of all, that's over 2 years, so to divide it in half per year. But jobs equals deficit reduction. If you put people to work, first of all, you get them off the unemployment rolls. I didn't even subtract that cost, and any of the other assistance programs that people on without a job get. And it means that they are at work, paying taxes, and beyond that, buying stuff. That's what businesses need, not more tax breaks. They need more customers. And so part of the way we get out of this is not just cutting and cutting and cutting. It's about putting people to work so that they can have money in their pocket to buy things that resonate throughout the economy.
And those are important points that you mentioned about getting people back to pay their taxes and to get out shopping. And so initially we'd borrow this money. Is that correct? And then it would be implemented in this plan. So how would that be implemented? We mentioned the parks and the schools and putting cops and firefighters back to work, but how exactly is that done?
Well, let me explain that, but I also have a companion bill that taxes millionaires and billionaires a bit more, a fairness in taxation
and that's
act.
good, because we have a millionaire that's coming on to talk to me in about 10 minutes, and he wants his own taxes raised, so I don't even, we're going to get to him in a second, but go ahead.
Okay, well, that's one of the ways to do it. But so what I do is create a school improvement corps, create 650,000 jobs, fixing up our schools, which need that all over the country, a parks improvement corps, a health care corps, because we need more health care providers, a child care corps. Right now they're cutting early Head Start. This would put people to work doing what we need to do so that more women and men can get jobs and go to work to take care of the children. More cops, teachers, firefighters. All these things are real jobs. They need to be done, and they let people have some money to go out and spend, and also to keep their homes so that they don't go into foreclosure.
Congresswoman, one of the criticisms, at least of the stimulus plan from a couple years ago, was that it was only temporary, that it only worked for maybe a year or got one project done, but it did not necessarily have the momentum to help pick up the rest of the economy. Is there a part of your plan that would extend the benefits of this past 2013, or is it really focused on helping the economy for these 2 years and then leaving a question of what would be next after that?
Well, it is a 2-year program, but the thing that's unique about this program is that every dollar has to be attached to a job. This isn't giving someone, a business, a tax break in the hopes that they'll hire someone. Every single one of these programs requires that the money goes to pay somebody to do the work. And so I think that 2 years from now, hopefully, the economy will be growing, and we won't need to have this kind of program where we hire people. But if we do, we could always consider extending it. But my thought is that this is an emergency jobs program for the next 2 years.
Congresswoman, as we mentioned at the start of this segment, we're looking for new ideas. So it's a pleasure to talk to you about a new idea you're going to propose when Congress is back in session. And we look forward to keeping up to date with you on what happens next. Thank you so much.
I look forward to that. Thank you.